So, hello, my name is Rahim, Group 2, and I wanted to ask you a question that you made a few really good suggestions, and if you were to choose one of those suggestions to put in action, which one would that be? Which one would be most effective, and in terms of cost and benefits?
Okay, I think the really major one was the RSPO suggestion with putting labels on packaging, because it's very clear to us that Lactalis doesn't have enough labeling. So if in a society today where people, a lot of people are worried about what they buy, where it comes from, and the ethics of it. I mean, look at Cadbury's, their fair trade logo does drive a lot of sales. It could cause a lot of profit, therefore meaning maybe we could spend extra money trying to get to where we want to be with the RSPO. It would cost a lot initially, but I think it could bring in a lot of profit.
Yeah, also it's all about making people aware, because I doubt any of you have heard of the RSPO or palm oil, really. So it's all about making people aware, making consumers aware, other companies aware, and by putting the logo on the products, that's like the first step. So yeah, that's probably the main.
Obviously, I think as well it has to be backed up by actually sourcing out palm oil from certified sustainable palm oil sources, otherwise you're making a false claim by putting the logo on the products.
Yeah, but at the same time I think it's important that if we do put the RSPO logo on, we need to be transparent about other things in the company as well, because we've told the truth about the RSPO. Now people are starting to trust us, but if they find anything on the site, or if they find anything in the news report they don't know, they might wonder if we're revealing certain things but not others. So I think to answer your question, we need to start with consumer advertising through products, and maybe to other companies as well, and that way we can move up the RSPO ranking and make a better profit. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll go to group 1 for the next question.
Hey, I'm Patricia. Being sustainable certainly creates many positive externalities, but also raises the production costs. How would your business react if the total costs exceeded the profit your firm receives?
Yeah, if we can start answering this question. The main reason why Lactalis didn't go on such a garden-type management with environment in the first place is because in such a competitive market we need to first have a big share of the market in order to have profits, and then we can implement more garden type management style with, for example, more environmental perspectives. And I think you wouldn't make such loss when you have a strong consumer basis already made from previous experiences.
Yeah.
It's more of a long-term goal. Like in the short term, we might see like raise costs quite significantly, but in the long run, we should hopefully capture a larger demand.
Yeah.
Anyway, and see our profits rise.
Building on what they both said, I think as well, through kind of the marketing and everything, we could get our share back. But also with the smallholders, it did say on the slide on a point that we could better communicate with smallholders and we can find more sources for our products. Now, smallholders are the people on the farms, maybe the managers of the farms. It's also possible we could negotiate with those farms how much they would sell a certain product to us for. And the RSPO gives us much better certification, so we actually qualify to do that, instead of just getting from sources where we don't really know what's happening with the product.
I think as well, in addition to that, Lactalis is #1 in Europe for being the dairy leader kind of thing, and it has a turnover of 15 billion, so I think it wouldn't have too much of a problem having to compensate the costs of taking into consideration my sustainable palm oil, because it's such a minor kind of part of what they'll have to take into consideration for their costs.
It would have to be done in stages, if anything, because you're right, otherwise you would have a loss, but you need to set goals and targets and gradually progress through.
Okay, so the question we got from Patricia was about was about costs and benefits. Do we know actually what the costs are of implementing your ideas?
It's very difficult to look into these costs because there are very few companies with the RSPO who one, reveal their costs, and two, who have actually done it, which is why I think it's so beneficial for Lactalis to almost take this leap, not blindly, because you have to be more informed, but it's very good to take this leap to be one of the first people to actually be on the round table of sustainable palm oil.
Good answer. I'd like to go ahead and turn that into a positive. But do we know how much more expensive sustainable palm oil is compared to
Well,
non-sustainable palm oil?
a concrete application of RSPO is the use of green palm, and green palm is the main, environmentally friendly palm oil. And on the market, it costs about nearly twice as much as a normal standard palm oil.
Twice as much?
Yeah, nearly. But at the same time, you have to consider the fact that, for example, farmers can consider lower their costs because with such a big firm as Actalis, we can implement, for example, educational systems, and it has been stated that they value much more highly the quality of life more than just the wage they receive. So yeah, that could be a good balance.
Yeah, also with sustainable palm oil, you have higher yields than non-sustainable palm oil, and so
Yes.
you're more efficient. So